The first shot, the night sky over Earth was calm. Cities glowed with lights, oceans moved with quiet waves, and people lived their ordinary lives. Nobody expected the stars above to turn hostile. But far beyond the moon, hidden in the cold dark, something was waiting. The aliens had been watching Earth for years. To them, humanity was primitive, just children playing with fire. They saw humans as weak, loud, emotional, and divided. To the galaxy, Earth was nothing more than a small blue planet with fragile life. And so, when the alien commanders decided to expand their empire, they chose Earth as an easy target. The first shot came without warning. From orbit, a beam of white energy cut across the sky. In seconds, satellites burned like paper in fire. Entire networks went dark. Power grids failed in great blackouts. In New York, in Tokyo, in Berlin, the lights went out, leaving only the sound of frightened voices and sirens dot above the Atlantic. The second strike came. A colossal alien ship released a blast that shook the ocean itself. Waves rose like mountains, swallowing cargo ships whole. Cities along the coast felt the tremor as if the planet itself was breaking apart. The world was in shock. People looked up at the burning trails in the sky, unable to believe what they were seeing. Parents held their children close. Radios screamed emergency codes, and governments struggled to understand. The news was clear. Earth was under attack. The aliens did not speak. They gave no warning, no demand, no chance for surrender. To them, this was just another conquest. Earth would fall, just like the countless other worlds they had taken. But the aliens had made a mistake, in bunkers deep under mountains. In hidden bases beneath the sea, humans had been preparing. For years, rumors of alien life had moved through secret military projects. Some leaders had been waiting for this day, quietly building weapons not meant for human wars, but for something greater. As the alien fleet moved closer, Earth's defenses came alive. In Colorado, underground command centers lit up with red alarms. Generals shouted orders, screens filled with data, and satellites hidden in deep orbit activated. A voice rang out across the command. They fired first. Now Earth will answer. In the Pacific, strange shapes moved under the waves. They were not submarines as the world knew them, but massive railgun platforms disguised for decades. With a deafening roar, they fired upward, sending slugs of metal faster than sound into the sky. The first alien cruiser was hit. The galaxy's predators had expected silence. Instead, they saw fire rising from the little blue planet. Their great warship split apart in orbit, burning like a star as it fell into the ocean below. Panic spread across the alien fleet. This was not what their leaders promised. Earth was supposed to be weak, soft, begging for mercy. But instead, it struck back. Across the planet, humans united in ways never seen before. Soldiers, scientists, engineers, and even ordinary civilians stood together. They were not ready to surrender. They were ready to fight. In London, a scientist whispered as the sky burned red. They don't understand. They don't know what humans are capable of. In space, alien commanders watched the first counterattack with disbelief. Their voices shook as they spoke in their strange tongue. Impossible. They are primitives. How do they strike us down? The answer was simple. Humanity had something no alien could measure. It was not just weapons. It was not just strategy. It was something older, stronger survival. The first shot had been fired. Cities were wounded, lives were lost, fear spread like wildfire. But the spirit of humanity had ignited. From the ashes of burning streets, from the dark silence of powerless cities, a promise was born. Earth would not fall quietly. And as alien fleets gathered for their final assault, a shadow moved across. The stars. It was not alien. It was human. The galaxy thought Earth would beg for mercy. Instead, Earth was preparing its answer. Asterisk the hidden strength, the alien fleet spread across Earth's orbit like a black crown. Their ships were huge, shining with cold silver light, each one armed with weapons strong enough to destroy cities in minutes. On every alien world before Earth, such power had been enough. One shot, 2 shots, and resistance ended. Civilizations bent their knees. Empires fell silent. But Earth did not follow the pattern. After the first terrible strikes, the aliens expected chaos. They believed humans would panic, fight among themselves, and surrender. Instead, the opposite happened. In underground bunkers. Leaders who once argued in endless meetings now stood shoulder to shoulder. Nations that had once competed for power suddenly shared secrets. Across the planet, a single message echoed in every command room, every hidden base. They fired first. Humanity will answer together. The aliens had no idea what humanity had been hiding. Decades earlier, when mankind first reached space, whispers of strange signals and shadows beyond the solar system spread through hidden reports. Most of the world never knew, but in secret, humans had prepared for the worst. Projects were buried under oceans, hidden in deserts, and placed in orbits no alien scanners had ever noticed. Now, those secrets came alive. From the Pacific depths, massive shapes rose through the waves. To the untrained eye, they looked like simple cargo vessels. But as panels split open, long barrels of railguns emerged. They fired with thunder, launching projectiles faster than lightning into the dark sky. The first alien destroyer broke apart, pieces raining like fire over the ocean. Another ship turned its weapons to respond, but then something else moved above Earth's clouds. It was not an alien ship. It was human. For years, humanity had hidden a fleet of experimental warcraft. They were not as large as alien cruisers, but they were fast, sharp, and invisible to scanners. Coated in dark material, they blended into space itself. The aliens never saw them coming until missiles struck their hulls, tearing holes through metal that was supposed to be unbreakable. One alien commander shouted across his channel, his voice shaking, "Impossible! They are primitives. They cannot have cloaking technology." But they did, and not only cloaking humans, had built weapons that the galaxy had never seen. Energy lances fired from mountain silos. Satellite cannons, long thought destroyed in the eye. First strike suddenly lit up, tearing through alien armor. Even space mines, hidden in orbits for decades, exploded with deadly precision. Every attack from Earth carried a message. Humanity had never been as weak as the galaxy believed. In the chaos, alien ships fired back. Cities shook again, fires spread, and lives were lost. But Earth's response was relentless. Every time a city fell, another weapon revealed itself. Every time an alien commander believed victory was close, another hidden system struck from. The shadows. It was like fighting a ghost. The galaxy had never faced such an enemy. They were used to crushing armies with strength. But here was a species that fought with cunning, with secrets, with unity. In a dark chamber deep under Cheyenne Mountain, an old general stood before his people. His voice was steady, his eyes burning. They thought us divided. They thought us blind. They thought us children. But they will learn the truth. Humanity does not break. On the other side of space, alien admirals argued among themselves. Some demanded a retreat. Others called for a stronger assault. But all of them, deep in their cold hearts, felt the same creeping fear. For the first time, the galaxy's predators realized they had awakened something far worse than prey. As night fell again on Earth, the skies burned with streaks of light. Some were alien fire, some were human strikes. But to those watching from the ground, one truth became clear. Humanity was no longer fighting to survive. Humanity was fighting to win. And in the silence between battles, when smoke cleared and broken ships drifted in orbit, a single thought spread across the stars. If Earth can fight like this now, what will happen when they truly rise? The aliens had fired the first shot. But now, the galaxy was beginning to understand Earth's hidden strength had only just been revealed. Asterisk. The first counterattack the alien fleet thought they still had control. Their ships were larger, their weapons stronger, and their empire older than human history itself. In their minds, Earth's resistance was nothing more than the dying roar of a small, primitive world. But they were wrong. Humanity had spent centuries fighting one another, learning the art of war through endless battles on their own soil. Now, all that experience was focused on one enemy, the invaders above. Inside a dark control room, General Hayes looked at the holographic display of the alien fleet. His hands were steady as he gave the order. Enough defending. It's time to strike back. The counterattack began. From hidden silos across Earth, long-range missiles erupted into the sky, slicing through the darkness like fire arrows from ancient wars. Some were decoys, some were real, but all forced the alien fleet to scatter and waste their fire. The aliens fired beams of energy to intercept, but the sky was suddenly filled with too many targets to track. That was when the true strike came. Cloaked human ships, small but deadly, broke through the chaos. They darted between massive alien cruisers, faster than scanners could follow. At close range, they released swarms of kinetic warheads, metal rods, moving at impossible speeds. One alien battleship cracked in half, glowing red as its reactors exploded. For the first time in this war, alien commanders shouted not orders of victory, but warnings of fear. They're inside the fleet. Push them back. Destroy them. But the humans were everywhere. On the dark side of the moon, a hidden base came alive. Its cannons, built into the craters, fired beams strong enough to pierce through alien shields. One by one, alien frigates turned into flaming wrecks, their pieces falling silently into space out on Earth's surface. Cities roared with cheers as news spread. Screens showed burning alien ships breaking apart in the sky. The people who once hid in fear now shouted in unison, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" The aliens were stunned. In their long history of conquest, no world had ever struck them with such fury. They were used to surrender, to begging, to silence. But humanity gave them none of these. Humanity gave them war. In orbit, Captain Elena Torres led a squadron of human strike craft. Her voice was calm, but her words carried fire. Remember what they did to our cities. Remember the lives lost. Today, we take the fight to them. Her squadron dove between enemy ships, unleashing bursts of plasma fire. They moved like predators among giants, too fast to lock onto, too sharp to ignore. An alien destroyer tried to block their path, but within seconds, it was torn apart by a coordinated barrage. Every victory sent a message to the galaxy. Earth was not prey. Earth was a hunter. And then came the moment that shook the invaders. In the middle of the battle, a human railgun slug fired from a hidden station deep under the Pacific struck the flagship of the alien fleet. The impact was so powerful it ripped through shields, armor, and command decks. The great ship that had led dozens of planetary invasions broke apart in a storm of fire and silence. The galaxy had never seen an empire bleed so quickly. Alien communication channels filled with fear. Some ships turned back, retreating to safer positions. Others fired wildly, desperate to push the humans away. But no matter how much they fought, Earth strikes kept coming. In every destroyed alien cruiser, in every fire that lit up the night sky, the same truth grew stronger. Humanity had drawn blood. On the ground, survivors of the first attacks, watched the burning pieces fall like meteors. To them, it was more than wreckage, it was hope. For the first time since the war began, the people of Earth believed they could win. And high above, as alien admirals tried to regroup, one thought echoed in their minds. This world is not like the others. This world is dangerous. The counterattack was not just a defense. It was a warning. Humanity was not fighting for survival anymore. Humanity was preparing to hunt. Asterisk, the rising fear. The smoke of battle still drifted across Earth's orbit. Alien wreckage glowed like falling stars, scattered across the night sky. On the ground, people stared upward, watching pieces of broken warships fall into the oceans, into deserts, into empty plains. Every fiery trail was proof. Humanity had struck the invaders down. But in the alien fleet, silence spread like a disease. Admiral Krell, commander of the invasion, stood in the shattered remains of his bridge. His black eyes stared at the burning horizon of Earth. He had led dozens of conquests across the stars, and not once had he faced true resistance. Yet here, against a species his empire called primitive, his fleet was bleeding. How? He muttered, his voice trembling. How can they fight like this? His officers gave no answer. Across the galaxy, other alien races watched. Signals from the battle had already spread through hidden networks and smugglers' channels. Many had once lived under the shadow of the same empire that now attacked Earth. To them, the sight was unthinkable. A small world, a young species, standing against one of the strongest fleets in the stars and winning pieces of the fight. Whispers began to rise in alien marketplaces, in secret meetings, in quiet homes. The humans fight back. The humans bleed them. The humans win. Fear did not only grow among the invaders. It spread through the galaxy like wildfire. On Earth, generals saw the same truth. Humanity's blows were strong, but the war was far from over. The alien fleet was still massive, still powerful, and still hungry. Yet something had shifted. For the first time, the aliens looked uncertain. For the first time, they hesitated. General Hayes leaned over the glowing table of Earth's war map. His voice was steady but cold. They are afraid. Don't let them recover. We keep striking. We keep pushing. The moment they breathe, we lose. In orbit, humanity prepared its next wave. Stealth ships circled the planet like sharks, their weapons ready. Railguns reloaded in underground chambers. Satellites adjusted, lining up for coordinated fire. But the most dangerous weapon was not a machine. It was an idea. The galaxy had never seen humans fight as one. But now, nations that had once fought bitter wars against each other shared information, soldiers and technology. No empire in the stars had expected such unity from such a divided species. And unity made humanity unpredictable. Alien soldiers whispered in their own language as they prepared for another assault. They had studied humans as weak, emotional creatures. But what they saw now was something else, something terrifying. Humans fought not only with weapons, but with fury, cunning, and a hunger to win that no empire could measure. The invaders began to fear not just Earth's weapons, but Earth's will. As the next battle lines formed, Admiral Krell received desperate messages from his sub-commanders. We underestimated them. Their weapons are stronger than reports. Their ships move like hunters. Their people do not surrender. But the Admiral already knew. His black eyes turned toward the blue planet below. In that moment, he understood. A truth more dangerous than any weapon. If humanity survives this war, they will not stay on Earth. They will rise, and the galaxy will never be the same. On Earth's surface, civilians who once hid in fear now walked with fire in their eyes. Resistance groups spread across ruined cities, using broken alien technology to craft traps and bombs. Farmers, students, and workers picked up arms. It was not only armies that fought now, it was the entire species. Every shot fired, every alien ship that burned, carried the same message. Humanity would never kneel. The aliens had wanted to make Earth a lesson, a quick victory to show the galaxy their strength. Instead, Earth was becoming the opposite. A story, a warning, a spark that other enslaved worlds would remember. And as human ships prepared for another strike, Captain Torres whispered through her comms. They thought we were weak. They thought we were easy. But they don't understand. They started this war, and now we'll finish it. The galaxy had thought Earth would be prey. But now, every empire was learning the same chilling truth. The prey had teeth. Asterisk. The turning tide, the battlefield above Earth, no longer looked like victory for the invaders. The alien fleet, once proud and shining, was scarred and broken. Dozens of their ships burned in silent fire, drifting across the void like tombstones. Of arrogance, but Earth was not finished. From secret hangars buried deep in the deserts, humanity launched its next weapon, the Vanguard fleet. These ships were not massive. They were not beautiful. They looked rough, built from metal and wires, patched together with desperation and genius. But they were fast, faster than anything the aliens had imagined humans could build. And they were armed with something new, something alien. For weeks, engineers and scientists had worked in hidden labs, pulling apart wreckage from fallen alien ships. They studied their reactors, their shield cores, their weapons. And then they did something no one in the galaxy had dared before. They mixed alien technology with human design. The result was brutal dot as the Vanguard fleet rose into the skies. Their weapons glowed with strange blue light, alien power fueled by human rage. When the first volley fired, entire alien frigates shattered in seconds. Admiral Krell, watching from his crippled flagship, felt his cold blood freeze. They are learning, he whispered. Not just learning, they were adapting. Faster than any empire had seen. The galaxy had always believed humans to be slow, primitive, behind in technology. But humans had a gift more dangerous than weapons. They could steal, copy, and improve at impossible speed. What the galaxy had built in centuries, humans learned in days. Now, the war was changing. Captain Torres led the Vanguard into the heart of the alien fleet. Her ship darted between cruisers, unleashing stolen alien plasma cannons. The aliens fired back, but every second they fought, more of their own technology turned against them. From the ground, billions watched the sky as Earth's ships cut through the darkness. Every blast of light, every falling wreck, was proof that the tide was turning. Children in ruined cities whispered to each other, "We are winning." And then humanity did something no alien expected. They left Earth. The first wave of human strike craft broke through the blockade and pushed into deep space. Their target was not defense anymore. Their target was the enemy supply ships hiding. Behind the main fleet dot in one strike, humanity did what no conquered world had done before. They cut the Empire's lifeline. Explosions lit the void as alien supply carriers burned, their food, fuel, and weapons destroyed. Panic spread through the invaders. "We cannot hold this position." One alien commander shouted, "They are inside our lines." But retreat was not an option. The Empire had demanded Earth be crushed. And yet, here, their greatest fleet was bleeding at the hands of a species barely known to the stars. On Earth, General Hayes stood before the War Council. His face was lined with exhaustion, but his eyes burned like fire. "They came to destroy us," he said. "But look now. They bleed. They run." The galaxy thought humanity was weak, but today, we prove them wrong. In hidden corners of the galaxy, enslaved species watched transmissions of Earth's counterattack. For the first time in centuries, hope sparked in their hearts. If humans could rise, maybe they could too. Admiral Krell felt that same fear in his chest. His empire was built on terror, but now terror was turning against them. As more of his ships fell, he spoke the words his officers dreaded to hear. Pull back. Save what remains of the fleet. This war is no longer in our control. But it was too late. Humanity had already tasted victory. And once humans tasted something, they never let it go. The turning tide had begun. And across the galaxy, one question spread like fire. If Earth can do this in their first war, what will they become in next? The Empire trembles. The alien fleet above Earth limped away, broken and humiliated. Their ships carried wounds that could not be hidden. Their soldiers spoke in hushed tones, their eyes avoiding their commanders. For the first time in their long history of conquest, they had failed, and across the galaxy, everyone knew it. Signals from the battle spread faster than light, carried through smugglers, traders, and hidden networks. Every world that lived under the Empire's shadow saw the same truth. Earth fought back. Earth survived. And Earth won battles against the unbeatable. In the great halls of the alien empire, rulers watched the reports with disbelief. The High Sovereign slammed his clawed hand against the table. One planet, one primitive world. And you return to me with defeat? The chamber was silent. No admiral dared to answer. But the truth could not be buried. The Empire's power rested not only on weapons, but on fear. Fear had kept their subjects obedient for centuries. Fear had silenced rebellions before they began. Now that fear was cracking. On the slave world of Tharnes, whispers spread through the mining tunnels. They bleed, the Empire bleeds. If humans can fight, why not us? On the water world of Zereth, merchants exchange secret signals. Earth stands. Earth resists. The Empire is not invincible. And in the frozen colonies of Virus, even children spoke the words that terrified their masters. We are not alone anymore. Every whisper was a seed of rebellion. And every seed grew because of Earth. Meanwhile, on Earth itself, humanity prepared for what came next. Scientists worked day and night, unlocking more secrets from alien wreckage. Engineers built ships faster than ever before. Soldiers trained with weapons they had once feared, now turned against their enemy. But it wasn't only weapons that gave Earth strength. It was unity. Nations that once distrusted one another now shared everything. Rivalries that had lasted centuries were set aside. Humanity had one enemy and one purpose. The world had become a forge, and inside it, a warrior race was being born. General Hayes stood before the United War Council, his voice carrying across every screen, every city. They called us primitive. They called us weak. But the galaxy has seen the truth. The Empire trembles because of us. And this war is not over. We will carry it to their gates. The word spread like fire. The people roared in response. Meanwhile, the alien High Sovereign gathered his closest advisors. Fear twisted through his mind, though he tried to hide it behind rage. If humanity spreads this fire to other worlds, he growled, our empire will collapse. They must be crushed before the spark becomes a storm. But one of his advisors spoke carefully, almost afraid of his own words. Sire, what if they cannot be crushed? What if humanity is different? The High Sovereign turned on him, his eyes burning. Different? They are nothing. Animals with guns. Yet deep inside, even he knew the truth. No other conquered race had ever adapted so quickly. No other species had ever turned defeat into victory with such fury. The Empire was built on the belief that no one could stand against them. But Earth had stood. And if Earth could stand, The whole galaxy might rise. Back on Earth, Captain Elena Torres watched the stars from her ship's deck. Her voice was calm, but certain as she spoke to her crew. They fear us now. Not just the fleet we broke, but the Empire itself. We've shaken them, and soon we'll do more than shake. We'll break. Silence filled the room, heavy and sharp. Every soldier knew what she meant. Humanity was no longer just defending their home. They were preparing to go further, to carry the fight into the heart of the Empire. And far away, in dark alien halls, the High Sovereign felt it too. For the first time in centuries, he could hear the sound that haunted every conqueror, the sound of an empire beginning to crack, the sound of fear. Asterisk. Earth's revenge, the stars no longer felt quiet. Across the galaxy, the name of Earth spread like fire through dry fields. What was once a forgotten blue planet had become a storm one that no empire could stop. The alien High Sovereign sat in his throne chamber, staring at reports flooding in from the outer colonies. Rebellions, uprisings, entire sectors refusing orders. All because of Earth. They are only one world. The Sovereign roared, his voice echoing across the black stone walls. But deep inside, he already knew the truth. One world was enough. One spark could burn down an empire. And Earth was no longer just one world. It was an idea. Meanwhile, in the void of space, humanity prepared for its boldest strike. The Vanguard fleet, rebuilt with alien engines and human will, set course beyond the safety of Earth. Their target, the Empire's forward command station, the Crown Fortress. A citadel so feared that no enslaved world had ever dared to look upon it with hope. General Hayes stood at the center of the War Council aboard the flagship Resolute. His voice was steady, his eyes burning. They brought the war to us. They thought we would kneel. Today, we show the galaxy that humanity does not kneel. Today, we show them Earth's revenge. A fleet moved in silence, cutting through the darkness like blades. Soldiers sat in their ships, gripping weapons tight, their hearts racing with fury and pride. For them, this was not just war. This was justice. When the Vanguard fleet emerged from hyperspace, the Crown Fortress loomed before them, an enormous structure, armed with weapons that could burn planets. The alien defenders laughed when they saw the small human ships. Primitive fools, one commander sneered. They dare challenge the Crown? But their laughter ended in fire. Humanity's first volley tore across the black, striking the fortress with stolen alien plasma and human railguns. The walls shook. Alarms screamed. The defenders scrambled, unprepared for the fury that followed. Captain Torres led her squadron into the heart of the defense line. Her voice was sharp, filled with fire. Hit them where it hurts. No mercy. Her ships weaved between alien cruisers, striking at weak points, tearing apart engines, ripping through shields. Human pilots fought with desperation, but also with creativity. Where aliens followed strict orders, humans improvised. They turned wrecks into cover. They rammed when needed. They fought with the madness of survivors who refused to die. The galaxy watched through stolen transmissions. Billions of enslaved beings saw the impossible happen. The fortress that had stood for centuries began to crumble under the attack of a single world's fleet. Inside the Crown Fortress, Admiral Krell fought to hold his lines, but his officers' voices broke with panic. They adapt too fast. They know our weak points. They fight like no species we faced before. And then came the final blow. From the flagship Resolute, General Hayes gave the order. A prototype weapon, built from human ingenuity and alien science, fired its first shot. A spear of light cut through the void, piercing the heart of the fortress. The station's core imploded, ripping it apart in a storm of fire and twisted metal. The crown fortress was gone. The Empire had been humiliated before. But now, it was broken. In that single moment, the galaxy changed. The invincible Empire was not invincible anymore. On Earth, crowds poured into the streets, their cheers shaking cities that had once been silent with fear. Across enslaved worlds, rebels rose, holding whatever weapons they could find. The fall of the Crown Fortress became more than a victory. It became a symbol. Captain Torres stood on her deck, watching the ruins of the fortress drift in space. Her voice was quiet but sharp. They fired first. They thought we would break. But now the galaxy knows the truth. General Hayes added the words that would echo for generations. Humanity does not forgive. Humanity does not forget. And humanity does not kneel. The galaxy had always believed. Earth weak, fragile, unworthy of fear. But now, every empire, every ruler, every soldier understood a new truth. Earth was no longer prey. Earth was the sea. Storm. And in the silence of space, as the fires of the destroyed fortress faded, one question burned brighter than any star. If this is what humans can do in their first war, what will they become when they reach the stars?